Hey everybody, Traci Cornelius here, and we are on week 6 of our new baby arrival countdown. So if you've managed to catch the video with regards to me being 34 weeks pregnant, you will also know that I had a midwife appointment this week, and during that appointment she asked if I had the hospital bag packed. That's quite early. Normally I pack the bag around about 36 weeks. But I don't know why these things happen. It just then made me kind of think, does she know something I don't know? Should I have it packed by now? So anyway, the reason I'm mentioning it is because today I did pack some of the toiletry items, which I'll go through in a minute in preparation for it. The upside to that is at least it also helps me to work out the little bits and pieces that I still need to get with regards to that as well. With 6 weeks to go, it is getting very, very exciting. So there's a number of different items that are arriving. And the one that I really wanted to show you and talk to you about today was actually the baby rocker seat. Now, there was quite a big decision, really, and a big thought process as to what type I was going to go for this time. Because really, for the last 3 children, we had one that came from Mothercare. It like had some kind of duck pattern or something on it. And that was okay. It played music and, you know, that type of thing. But it was just well worn, so we needed to replace it. And originally I thought about getting a swing chair. The reason I thought about getting a swing one is because the swing ones tend to be off of the ground, and with 3 children and also Rue, who's our miniature Labradoodle, I just kind of thought maybe if she's off the ground a little bit, that would be more beneficial for her. But to be honest, they actually don't come off of the ground that far. I mean, if you were to think that, let's say that the sofa here is the ground, it's only like the seat would begin about this much higher. So I really didn't see the advantage. In fact, it would probably be worse because it would be right at like Rue's head height and everything else. Plus, you could really only use them until the baby is about 6 months old. That's not very long. So it didn't seem like a very cost-effective option to me. So I decided not to do that. And instead, upon a lot of research, because like I said, I really want to have something which is cost effective that we can use for quite a long period of time, that type of thing. And I have gone for the Fisher-Price Safari infant to toddler rocker chair. So I'm just about to show you what that looks like. So here is the Fisher-Price, it's not Safari, sorry, it's called Rainforest. So Fisher-Price Rainforest infant to toddler rocker chair. So as you can see, similar to many, many designs, you've got like the rocking motion here. You can also put these to flip outwards, so then the chair stays static, which is quite a good option. You again have a little toy bar. This one's just got a couple of little plastic toys on here, which is pretty good. The only thing that I was maybe slightly disappointed by is the fact that it only really has a 3-point seat buckle. Sorry, trying to undo this one, so it's been plugged into the wrong one. Which basically means that your baby is just secured in the middle. Now, I do tend to prefer the ones that have the 5 ones, which means that you've got the shoulder straps that would come from round about here going through. But as my other daughter has reminded me, when we put the other children into the chair itself, we predominantly use the bottom section. So maybe it's just my little bit of paranoia, you know, where they're young and what have you. This one again does also have like a vibrating motion. I haven't put batteries in it yet, so that little bit won't work. But as soon as I put the batteries in, that will be fine. But what you can see is obviously this is how it's set up at the moment, but then it sets up to a toddler chair later on, which I think is pretty cool. And that does mean that, you know, this chair was pretty much the same price as many of the others that you can get. So just think that you do get a lot more value for money. What you can also see here is that this will go up to 18 kilograms, which is £40. So that's like, you know, you've got good use out of that one. So that's our little toddler chair. Well, baby to toddler chair. Newborn to toddler, however you want to say it. And hopefully, you know, it's pretty comfortable. The padding is quite good on that one as well. It's bright colours. And because it's patterned, it won't seem like it's easy to stain either. Although, to be fair, I do tend to wash everything on a regular basis anyway. So I'm pretty happy with that one. I think that one I got from Kitty Care. I think it was. Wherever I got it from, I'll put a link in the box anyway, and obviously there'll be the information up on the blog as well. Now, as for the toiletries, I will just quickly run through those because I will do a what's in my hospital bag video for you all to watch from, like I said, probably about 36 weeks. And I'll also put a checklist that you can download on the blog as well, just so that you can make it easier. I had, especially for Nevaeh, I don't know, 3-4 checklists. So I do tend to find them very helpful. So yeah, let me just show you what I have put together so far. So far I've packed 3 of the smaller bags that I have. First one, I love this little bag. I've used it for so many different things over time, and it, you know, changes. But I like the fact that it also has a little clip. And it's also waterproof inside, so if you wanted to use reusable wipes, which is what I used to use a lot of, then this is a perfect bag. But for the time being, it will be going into the hospital bag, and it is just housing breast pads. Just purely because I don't really need to take an entire box with me, and I do want to try to make sure that I condense down what we need to take as much as possible. Now, the one thing that we will need a lot of, and I highly recommend, is maternity pads. I really wouldn't recommend just trying to use like a normal sanitary towel, because it genuinely won't be enough and you will actually be very sore. These are very, very soft. They've got a very like kind of cotton feel to them, that type of thing. Depending on where you're giving birth, you may get some from the hospital, but trust me, it's a messy business. It's pretty rank, really. So you will need a lot. So I've put these into just a case because, again, I just don't really want to be taking the packaging with me. Then we have a wash bag. This is a wash bag I've had for years. I really like it, but I do think I probably need to get a new one, or I need to find some other way of adding bits to the zips. Right, so this is what I have in here. The majority of the things that I will have in here are the things I'm going to take to the washroom. Obviously, when you give birth, you're usually in a private room. After you've given birth, you could be moved on to a maternity ward where there's lots of other people. I don't really want everybody seeing what I'm taking with me. I know we're all in the same situation. However, it just, you know, a little bit of discreetness is quite good. So in here, I actually have a number of things ready should I need to go and freshen up, no matter like what part of me, if that makes sense. So I will start with the most essential ones. So again, in here, you can see that I've got some of the maternity pads, and I've also got disposable pants. It is, even if this is your first baby, I cannot stress enough how messy it tends to be. So having things that you can literally just take off and put straight into a bin is actually ideal. Now, the other thing that I can say is that you're never sure exactly what's going to happen in labour. And with Grace, she ended up being an emergency cesarean. I have to say that these were an absolute godsend. And that's purely because they were loose enough around the scar area, so there wasn't any pulling on the stitches. It wasn't uncomfortable at all. So it's good to have them just in case. And they are really cheap. These ones I got from Asda. But you can get them in Asda. You can also get them in Boots, places like that. So, maternity pads, disposable pants. I also then have freshness wipes, just so that I can keep clean and just to feel a little bit better. You don't always have the opportunity of being able to just jump into the shower. I've also got some dry shampoo. It does tend to be, especially where we are, that you are released from hospital about 6 hours after you've had your baby. You're really not in hospital very long. I will still see if I can try and stay overnight, just so that I've got some time to spend with the baby away from the other children, you know, that type of thing. But we'll have to see what happens. So I've got that one just in case. But also just in case I'm unable to have a shower or anything. I've also got deodorant in a nice little handy travel size. Then on the other side, it's all essential cleaning products for myself. So we have a little facial scrub just so that I can freshen up. A really nice raspberry shower gel. I've got my micellar cleansing water, which is a must as far as I'm concerned for my skin. A hydrating moisturiser, a light one, purely because the hospital tend to be so warm, your skin can dry out very, very, very quickly. I've got a disposable razor, and it doesn't really matter as to the make to me, it's there just in case. And then things like my mouthwash, there's a little travel toothpaste behind there, a travel toothbrush, and some floss, which again is really important. And then in the top is actually some of these ones that I got from a hotel when I stayed in there. There's like a shower gel, a shampoo, and a conditioner. But the reason I'm taking these ones is because they actually smell really nice. Otherwise, I would normally have like a travel shampoo and conditioner. And in this little one in behind, there are cotton pads for the use of my micellar and the hydrating moisturizer, and there's also some Q-tips in there as well. So that's a good start really for the things to go into the hospital bag. A lot of the other baby items will be getting ready soon. So yeah, other baby items we will be getting ready pretty soon. It still just feels just that little bit early for me, although organising certain parts of it are a good idea. Obviously, we've already started buying things like the baby's outfit to come home in, and a couple of the vests, that type of thing. And that part I'll be sorting out. The things I still need to get, in fact, they're actually on their way, are things like newborn baby nappies, some water wipes. Tend to use more of the natural type of wipes for a newborn baby as opposed to baby wipes, because in hospital you don't always have access to like the top and tail bowl either, so it would just make it easier if I've got the water wipes. What else have I got coming? Oh, things like nappy rash cream. You don't really tend to need that very early on, because when you've just had your baby, they don't tend to have those kind of issues. However, I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Grace, because I think she was quite overdue. One of the children had extremely dry skin. I mean, it was literally flaking off everywhere. I know, sounds a bit gross, doesn't it? So I had the Bibanthum baby moisturiser. Not the nappy rash cream, they've actually got a little moisturiser. In fact, I might even still have one in our little pot down here. I do. Because it was that good that it's one of those items that I buy on a regular basis. This one is nearly empty. So every time any of the girls have dry skin, I tend to use this. It's Babanthum Baby Moisturiser for extra sensitive skin, and it is suitable for use from newborn, whereas a lot of moisturisers aren't. So as there's hardly any of this left, I will be getting another one of those just in case. But the rest of the items obviously we'll go through when we go through the hospital bag checklist and that type of thing. Anything else that I've been doing for the 6-week countdown? Actually, I think this is the first week that it kind of feels like I haven't been doing any washing for the baby. Although I have got some new sheets and that type of thing. Oh, and swaddle blankets. Actually, I got some new swaddle blankets from Mothercare because they had their big sale on. That's the one upside to this type of year, is there does tend to be a lot of sales on, so you can get some quite good deals. So I have got a couple of swaddle blankets and another baby sleeping grow, because obviously for newborn babies it's not always advisable to use blankets, just in case they wriggle and you know, that type of thing, so trying to reduce the risk of cot death. But again, I'll go through all of that type of thing in another video when we have a look at the room and the preparation as to where the baby's going and what the baby's going to sleep in, that type of thing. So I think that's pretty much it. Got a couple more sheets. The one thing that I find really hard, because, sorry, we've always used, for newborn, we've actually always used our travel cot, and we've done that for all of the girls. And the reason for that is, one, we've always needed a travel cot anyway, but the travel cot that I have has a changing station part that you can put on the top and then you can take it off, so it's actually really convenient. But the one thing that I find very difficult to get hold of is a mattress protection for a travel cot for that particular size. I can find them easily for cot beds, that type of thing, but for travel cots not quite so easy, so I'm still on the search for one of those. Apart from that, we are also now in preparation for the countdown for labour. We've upped the raspberry leaf tea to 2 tablets per day now, which is quite good. If you want to see that, you will be able to find the information about that on the blog. I've got a whole table as to how many tablets to take, when to start them and what to lead up to. So that's quite good as well. And I think really that's it for this kind of week's preparation. We've just got a bit more to do from next week, and then for that side of things it just gets a little bit more interesting, I think, when it comes to the hospital bag, so around about 36 weeks for that one. And then if you're anything like me, you'll be unpacking it and packing it and unpacking it and packing it for a little while. And then from there onwards, it's building up the things like drinks and snacks for labour, which actually is much more for Mark than it is ever is for me. The only thing I tend to have during labour is I will have the isotonic drinks, because, you know, it's quite exhausting and you get quite dehydrated as well. But I don't really eat. You don't really feel that hungry unless you're at the very early stages and that's prolonged, then you may feel a bit more hungry. But as your contractions take hold, pretty much eating would be the last thing on your mind. So we'll discuss all of those type of things as we get closer and closer to the due date. Cool. So if there's anything that you've been doing in your 6-week countdown, then let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you've been preparing and how it's all going. And if you like the video, please do subscribe, give us a thumbs up. That would be awesome. And I will speak to you again soon. All right, take care. Bye.